Hey guys,
I'm the host, Mike Rogers.
Gosh.
I'm excited to be here today.
I feel like I'm too excited because how come I couldn't get that out?
I mean,
Welcome back to another episode of the Village Group Chat. I am your host, Selikka Wood.
And as I said, I am Mike Rogers. And we're excited to be partnered with Pastor Battle as he's continuing the Keep Running series.
Yeah, but before we get into that, why are we here? What's the purpose of this podcast?
Providing hope,
Come on.
encouragement,
Uh-huh.
and practical tips
There you go.
as we navigate our family's journey.
Just like I told you. You did exactly what I told you to do.
All right. Well, hey, welcome all of our listeners. We're excited that you're deciding to join us.
Yeah, I'm excited to keep on talking about this. Look, keep running. I'm excited to keep talking about this this series. It's been so good.
Yeah.
And I want to hop in, but I know we got to cover some ground first.
Just some things. How could they join? How if they want to reach? I don't know why, but if somebody is being moved to connect with you,
you can contact me.
all that was necessary.
You can reach out to me on IG at no_ordinary_mom, or you can reach out to us at the Village Group Chat on IG.
Yeah. Mike J. Rogers 1. I'm simple.
Mm-hmm. Yep, simple, very simple.
Let's jump into it. Getting to know you.
All right, this was your getting to know you.
Thank you for giving me the credit.
He came up with this one. So
I mean, we're getting ready for back to school. I mean, I know
he's
parents.
ready. Y'all see his fit? He's ready.
Hey, I did. We were talking about back to school. I wanted to come correct.
Ready for third grade.
I'll ignore that, please. Ignore that. But seriously, what's your favorite back to school moment, or your favorite back to school memory? Do you have anything that you kind of stands out?
It probably was going to the 9th grade and just having your clothes laid out and ready for the next day. I remember I had bongo jeans and like a little striped like baby tee shirt. I think I had some Jordan. No, what's the shoes that was out? Asics.
Asics.
Yeah, I had some Asics. Yeah. I was just ready. I mean, the first day of school, that was like a fashion show.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. Yeah.
So I'm glad my parents subscribed to that. So I wasn't never no Bama in school. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah. Shoot, it's funny that you said 9th grade because 9th grade was also the memory that I was going to reference.
Okay.
Going to high school. I remember similar to you. I finally bought a pair of Jordans.
Yeah.
I worked during the summertime, was able to buy me some Jordan 13s. And I mean, you PG County, white t-shirt, some sweatpants, then also those Jordans. And so just being able to go back to there and just realizing like, man, I'm in high school now. Something that my brothers had experienced before, but like legit just kind of like just scared, overwhelmed, but also excited.
You went to school with some of your siblings, right? At least 2 of them. Did they act like they knew you in school? Did y'all?
All the way. I mean, those are my brothers. We had a great relationship, but just being able to see them in the hallways, and then Eleanor Roosevelt was so many people there. It was overwhelming.
Twice.
For real? Yeah, that thing was just overwhelming how large it was. They was called the school without windows.
Yep.
Like they did have like little risers up above that let light in, but as overwhelming as it was, I felt comfortable with knowing that my brothers were there. Even just some core friends that I had were there too.
Yeah, those was the days, man. Did you ever used to wear DDTP or Madness?
Shoot. Do you remember? Oh man, it was a
DC. Used to begin with a V too.
It was like those little Aja Armani.
Oh yeah. Man.
Yeah. Flashbacks.
Yes. Perstucos and Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. I had all the Warner Brothers stuff. Yeah, those was the days.
Most definitely.
The memories.
But I know that was about 30 years ago.
No, it was 1 year above you. So that would be, I think I went into high school in 96 and you probably went in 97.
Yeah. So definitely share with us your memories and your moments of going back to high school.
Yeah, or in school period, your back to school moments.
Yeah. All right, let's dive in. All right. After a few weeks of being away, Pastor Battle restarted his series, Keep Running. You like what I said. He restarted our series, Keep Running, start.
How long it take you to come up with that?
I mean, it took a long time, but I was, it didn't get the response I was looking for. Okay, yeah. Let's dive in. Anyway, at the start of part 3, he did a little review from parts 1 and 2, which was derived from Hebrews 12, verses 1 through 4. And so in part 1, he explored just heroes or heroines. I keep trying to say, I want to make sure.
Let's not talk, because I feel like every time I try to help you out, I mess it up. Yeah. All right, but we know what we're talking about.
People we look at that, in their relationship with God. He talks about hindrances, hurdles, and just giving us a level of encouragement to hang in there, but then also hone in or focus in on really that prize, just the future. Part 2, he talked about our prototype, Jesus, the ultimate example that we have, his position, and being comparable to connected with the Father, but still lowering himself to go on behalf to take the punishment for our sins, go on our behalf. What pushed him or what encouraged him, even highlighted his perseverance. Then finally, just that prize. And so, part 3, Pastor Battle was focused on healing from. He kind of took it in a different way. I thought was important. He did give opportunities or highlight. I love the way he took people's kind of asked people questions and recorded them and just really factored that into his message. But this part 3 really just explore how important it is for us to acknowledge when we've been hurt, but then also heal through that.
Yeah, and even him using the example of the weight. Yeah. He had the 60-pound,
the weighted vest.
The weighted vest. I was gonna call it a body weight, but the weighted vest, and was saying how so many people are walking around with that weight on them from unforgiveness that they don't even realize that that's what's slowing them down. Yeah. And I found that to be true.
Yeah. I mean, all of us have had experiences with people that did not go in a way that we would have desired. But and oftentimes those things can show up at the most inconvenient moments. And I love that analogy that he used, and even just how you describe it. It's literally like walking around with a weighted vest
of unforgiveness. Yep. And sometimes it's not even people. It could be some people need to forgive God for what they believe that, he some type of pain or he's inflicted on them unjustly. It's so many people who are walking around mad at God. So many people who are not even believers anymore because they believe that God intentionally inflicts something on them. And, that's sad.
Then even also forgiving yourself too. Yeah. Like there are certain decisions or experiences we've made or consequences that we are dealing with from decisions we made in the past. And so being able to genuinely forgive yourself, that's a process in and of itself. And so
I'm sorry, I was going to say forgiving. Oh, well, I think we're going to get to that and forgiving yourself. I had something to say about that, but we can talk about it.
So he had listed out these really 6 statements, pray for and about the people who've hurt you. Forgiveness doesn't mean that what the person did was okay. Don't confuse forgiveness and trust. Evaluate your expectations, then to forgive yourself. Then also make allowances for the faults of others. And that was pulled out of Colossians 3:13.
Yeah, hold up. But can we unpack these?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, so the first one was pray for and about the people who've hurt you. What has been your experience with that?
It's easier said than done.
Very.
Easier said than done. And depending on what was done to you in that moment, you experience so many emotional extremes. You gone from, technically it's easier said than done. Man, I'm not supposed. There are some times when you literally, there's a level of hatred that you have for that person. And so that just hearing that statement, pray for and about the people who you've hurt, whoever hurt you, that's something that I, to this day, even struggle with.
Yeah. I was going to say, is there anybody that you know that you need to forgive that you really, honestly haven't, and you're not saying who the person or people or whatever. Yeah. Do you have somebody that you still feel like ill feelings toward?
Honestly, I've shared openly with the last experiences I've been over these past few years with these health challenges that I've had. I can honestly say I am more intentional about letting go of certain things that I just can't control. And not even trying to look for an answer on why it was done to me, just making sure that I am connected with God in a way that that gives me a level of courage and a level of trust and a level of faith, and even relating to Him differently than I have in the past. That has helped me just navigate just life. Life is unpredictable. Life is difficult. It's challenging. So remaining tethered to Him has been helpful with me.
Yeah. I feel like it's for me. I have 3 people that I know. I've realized that I haven't like forgiven. I've moved on from whatever the situation was, but he had passed the battle. Had talked about like if you mention those people's names, like a feeling that you feel like you don't even, if you around them, you don't even want to be around them. And I was like, it's definitely 3 people in particular that I was like, I just don't want to have any deal. Like I know that I haven't forgiven them. So I have started to, one of the people I've been praying about for like a couple of years, but praying just that like they heal from whatever and move on. But the other ones, I was like, maybe I should start praying after the conversation. I mean, after the sermon on Sunday, I was like, maybe I'll start praying about like me forgiving them. Because at first it was just always like a prayer about them. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like if I was just praying about them, like that was me forgiving them or moving on from the situation, when instead like let me pray for my forgiveness, true forgiveness for them, so that I can move on.
It kind of ties into those second points that you presented. Forgiveness doesn't mean that what the person did was okay. And also don't confuse forgiveness and trust.
For sure, because I would never trust those people again. ever.
That's okay to even say that. Like I think that's part of the process, like expressing like that our relationship will never get back to where it was, but I need to let this go because it is hurting me. There are physical challenges that develop from unforgiveness, from carrying that weighted vest. When you're carrying that weighted vest, like to work out, that's there are some people who may go to the extreme, but at some point you're going to take that vest off. And so like approaching forgiveness from that perspective of, hey, it lightens the load for me. It gives me the ability to continue to process and move forward. That's a perspective I think all of us need to have, especially when it comes to forgiveness.
I think a light bulb had went off like during that conversation. I keep saying conversation because I felt like he was talking the message, because I felt like it was like he was talking directly to us. Just lightening your load. Like look at it as lightening your load, like not just moving forward, but having like so you're not cringing whenever you even think about that person or whatever took place.
And that even that lightening your load kind of ties into that portion where you was talking about evaluate your expectations. Like, and realistically, there are some people who don't need to be inside of your inner circle. There's some people that you don't even, maybe they weren't in your inner circle, but you don't even need to connect with. On a regular basis.
Everybody doesn't have your best interest in mind. I remember when Dr. Phil came out with his first book, one of the things he had said in the book was about giving people the benefit of the doubt. He was like, why are we giving people the benefit of the doubt? Like, it should be the opposite way. Like, sometimes we automatically are assuming people have the best intentions. That's not always the case. Sometimes they have to prove that their intentions are well.
Kind of like taking it for what it is. That doesn't mean you have to. That doesn't mean you should hold on to unforgiveness. But no, this is what you're showing me. So it's. I'm not going to trust you in that way anymore. I think that's a healthy way to approach it. Then also it's
wisdom.
It protects you from feeling that way again. So
yeah, it puts the ball in your court too.
Yeah.
Allowing you to make sure that you have expectations that are realistic with the people that you're dealing with. And once you become real about that, I do think it lessens the disappointment.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. And so that kind of even tied into how Pastor Battle sort of finished it. Colossians 3:13, make allowances for others' faults.
Yeah, none of us are perfect.
None of us are perfect.
And look, and he said something like everybody in here might be on somebody's list. Like somebody might be in there praying about me, praying that they can forgive me.
Yeah,
I hope that's not the case, but we all are human and we make mistakes. And so we have to like allow for that. And I feel like not just allow for people to make mistakes, but allow that space for reconciliation as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because all unforgiveness doesn't mean that it's not reconcilable.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, all offenses doesn't mean that it's not reconcilable.
Yeah, like there is potential hope, but at least interacting with that person, assessing your interaction will determine, all right, is this something that's going to continue to linger, or are they genuinely open to reconciling our relationship?
Yeah, and respecting any boundaries.
Respecting the boundaries that you put in place. Yeah.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
Forgive yourself. We didn't talk about that. That can be. I feel like it's not always about other people. Sometimes, in order for us to move on, we have to be able to forgive ourselves, and that was a huge part in my like healing journey, and even my me reconnecting with Christ. Like, I felt like maybe I had made so many mistakes that I wasn't worthy of his love or forgiveness or whatever. But I remember being in church one day, and this is like so cliche, but they were singing, the praise and worship was singing. This was like when we first, this was a long time ago, but they were singing the Imagine Me, the Kirk Franklin joint. Yeah, his song. And I was able to really imagine what it would be like just to let all of that go and be able to reconnect with, just get back serious about my journey, my spiritual journey. And it was very helpful for me to be able to, in that moment, be able to forgive myself and move forward.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of, not even kind of, that's critical, because so many, like, again, I don't want to belabor that point, but just that weighted vest, just a lot of it is due to our perception about ourselves and our action. If I wasn't so stupid, that wouldn't happen. No, at some point in this process, you genuinely have to give those things over to God.
Yeah. And I think we have to remind ourselves of who God believes that we are, how he sees us, because we can create this image in our mind that he's sitting up there mad, not forgiving us. Or holding grudges against us. And that's not that's not how God sees us, his children, just how we see our own children. Like, think of the things that we are able to look past with them and forgive them for, or, just always be there for them in our physical, natural children. So imagine how much more stronger he feels about us.
Most definitely. This was good. Kind of just talking through and still partnering with Pastor Battle. Now, do you know if he's going to do one more?
I think so, because he didn't say that was the last one. And, he's been known to go about 6 or 7 parts. So.
So we'll be here with you if he chooses to do another one. But so kind of in closing now, what would you say to motivate our listeners?
I would say forgiveness is necessary, although it's hard. And I would never even want to downplay that. I think it's necessary that, and just to reiterate his point, that does not mean that whoever offended you, that it was okay for you to forgive them within yourself. You know whether or not you've forgiven them or not. You know that feeling that you feel when you hear their voice, when you see their face, when you hear somebody give them accolades, and you believe that they are a horrible person. You know whether you've forgiven them or not. As hard as it is, forgiveness is for us. And I don't think that we should ever lose sight of that and always be working towards that goal.
Yeah. Kind of building on what you just stated, community is key. And in having a difficult experience with somebody can cause you to want to isolate. It is critical that you do not fall into that trap. Like, like isolating yourself or and then even just the expressions of pain and frustration that people experience, like the cutting and different things like that. Those are signs of a deeper or even a potential imbalance from a chemical perspective. And so I believe, and I've said this before, it is critical that we are connected with somebody who is skilled in helping us navigate the challenges of life. So my encouragement is to get connected.
Yeah.
We were
Whether
never,
it be therapy, small group, whatever, like get connected with people who can help you on this journey.
We were never created to do life alone. Get connected.
Yeah, that's good. You are kind of wise when you want to be.
So you just had to turn it in. Just close.
When you want to be.
We'll see you next time.
Yes.
Y'all enjoy it.
Thanks, guys.